You know, there's an accident over there. They got a tow truck there towing it out, you know. I guess I should have paid attention to the road signs, huh? Now check it out. They had a helicopter fly over like a news chopper, man. You know, because you need news reporters and stuff. Man, we need good news too, man. So like a Mars mission stuff with these new choppers we're designing, man. You know, to take us stuff out there to grow new crops, making new lands, you know, expand the ideas, expand the lands, and more people will be happy because there's more lands to settle down on, you know. And like, man, that's like throwing a breadcrumb out there and saying, here's a bunch of ducks. And you got one little breadcrumb and one little island, and you say, here you go. And they go, quack, 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 you know, a bunch of quacking around like a bunch of quacky doctors, you know. You know, you got a bunch of quacks, you know, for doctors saying, hey, this is what will fix the problem. It's just, man, what we really need is some real doctors, some real psychology, some real education, some real scientists, and some real reporting, you know. And I said, man, if we could do that, you know, we bow our heads and we pray to God, man. I go, hey, God, I'm looking down at these 2 feet, and I stand at parade rest with the United States Navy, and then I look up, I square off, and I said, man, yes, we can. And then we look up and we go, we have the technology, and if we have the psychological solution, we'll have the brains. And we go, what? Yeah, White House, man, the brains. White House, the book. Yeah, man. White House, the believers, man. And they go, wow, imagine that. And that's why they call, you know, the homeland of the White House, the Department of Homeland Security, you know, they say, they put that White House up there on Mount Olympus, you know. That way we can look down over all the lands and say, this is what we need. You know, and they go, man, what a wonderful idea. And it says, well, you know, we had a world war with 2 W's, you know. So it's like a worldwide, we're trying to figure out what to do. And it says, well, if we make a worldwide web of information that everybody can look at, find the solutions, then we'll have a worldwide web instead of world wrestling. It's like a World Wrestling Federation. Yeah, man, we do that so we can remember, you know, how people were wrestling with each other over some dumb ideas, you know, and stupid stuff, you know, with lack of supplies and training and education. That's a worldwide federation. World Wrestling Federation, you know, Wrestling Federation. It just goes, man, it goes, you know, you see the Russian guy, hey, where's Chekhov? Oh, he checked off, man. He checked off the ship and he fell off, man, and he forgot about the U.S. Navy, so we put him in a hospital to try to fix him, you know. It's like, oh, you mean Lieutenant Chekhov was checking off the list to see, you know, who's been naughty, who's been nice, like a Santa Claus thing? Yeah, man, that's Lieutenant Chekhov. You know, the Star Trek system, man. United States, you know, special, you know, it's a universal, you know, security system, you know, the USS Enterprise, you know, it's a spaceship, you know, we landed a long time ago. And they said, well, how are we going to fix all these people? Well, a lot of people like to refuse treatment, you know. They refuse teaching, you know, good education. So as I said, we had a general elections, you know, with a constitution and a government and stuff to fix these things. So we said, you know, maybe one day they'll understand, you know. And I said, President Trump, he get up there and he says, this is psychological truth, man. Here you go. And he says, man, I can't believe he did all that stuff, President Trump. He says, you know, psychological training, man, because we need peacetime, you know. And he goes, okay, we're going to do it. I don't know. And then it says, well, you know, he heard this military guy, he got in a Blue Angel, and he says, man, I can't believe we're still doing this, but someone told me we're going to work. It's going to work, man. And so they got them Blue Angels up in the sky. They flew them all over the place, man. And he says, man, now that is a World Wide Web. It's more than just a computer. Just a computer. Yeah, man, you know, just a computer service is what they thought. And it's like, you know, the JACS. Yeah, the JACS, you know. And it's a Justice Angel Correction System, yeah, man. The JACS. And you go, man, that's what that means. And you turn around backwards and you go, you know, it's a space camp, okay? You know, angel justice, the courts of heaven, you know? The courts of heaven, yeah, man, it's COH, you know? And I said, well, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. And it says, you know, the heaven of citizens, we the people. Man, that's a pretty good system. We said, wow, that's what we were trying to do, man. And that's the Star Trek system, Captain Kirk and all that other cool stuff, Captain Chekhov, man. Yeah, you check off the list. Yeah, we're checking this and checking that, and we're checking it twice, because the first place, we didn't get it right, we got all kind of mistakes. Then the second place, we were like, maybe the second place, is kind of messed up, so maybe we'll get the third place right, it's the research and development, third, for the world, man. The Trident, remember Trident? Trident, give peace a chance, world, okay? World Wide Web, 3, World Wide Web. So I got a whole web of information now, I never heard a diplomatic person talk like that before. He says, well, if you ever talk to God, man. Just talk to God, And who's that? He says, well, we got a lot of preachers and ministers out there. They kind of lost their way. And they needed a map, It's a human disposition, Because of the human disposition and the lack of understanding, we needed high definition. So they went with high definition TV. And they're like, man, it kind of worked, but it kind of didn't. And I was like, oh, where's that guy at? Can you get Captain Kirk to talk to his son, and maybe, we'll go into the darkness, like a Star Trek Into the Darkness. We got these things waking up, man. I'm like, man, we don't need a bunch of crazy people, geniuses, man. Yeah, I know. So we said crazy genius intelligence. We don't need bombs and wars and stuff. We need cool guy intelligence, man. So we made these CGI movies in Disneyland and stuff. It's pretty cool, And I said, man, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, pretty amazing, man. That's my Ma and Pa, man. You go, Ma and Pa. Didn't you guys ever watch John Boy from the Tennessee Mountains? Ma and Pa, man. Media angels, medic angels, And then Pa. My Pa, man. That's my Pa, man. You turn it around, you go, Angel Police? I don't know, man. That's courtesy office, man. We made an Angel Press, Associated Press, man. The People's Association, or We the People for the Constitution of the United States of America. They said, can you teach that? It's like, we're working on a Top Gun flight school right now, I got this shirt up in North Carolina, man. I went to talk to my Army buddies, man. I says, you guys forget about me or what, man? Because I'm getting a lot of flack from those flak jackets, man. And it's like, well, World War II, we had that problem too. So, we're going to try and help everybody remember about that idiocracy. Idiocracy, yeah, because people couldn't make good deals. So it's the art of the deal, man. And this is the art of the deal. Well, if we got a good tourist education system with good monuments and people know how to explain this stuff, man, we'll get some good teachers, man. Stop the grand theft. That's what they say. Stop the steal, man. The grand theft auto, man. And that's what they were trying to tell you with the Fast and Furious. So we're going to make a Fast and Furious theme park so that people could, watch those movies and say, this is what you're not supposed to do. But if you work together, become good people. Help everybody out. It's all about family, man. United States of America, North America, South America, all one big continent for the BC temple, We left those temples in Egypt, man. So we can come over to the United States and say, hey, we got a big promise, to keep, and it's a miracle, and we're going to make it happen. And he says, man, okay, what about that Top Gun stuff? And I says, well, we had the Army Corps of Engineers, we had the Space Marines, and they forgot, Paris Island, is, Space Marines, man. They were, a lot of research from South America and stuff, man. And then we had the North America stuff, Air Force, kind of like watching over both. And then we had the United States Navy, patrolling the waters. It's a big continent to go around, And then we had the Army Corps of Engineers trying to figure it all out. So I went over to North Carolina and they said, you doing a Top Gun school now? I says, man, you remember the movie, man, Tom Cruise? We were cruising through all the education, man, and saying, man, we're cruising so fast, man. We made a race car game about it in the arcade and said, cruising around the world project, man. We had all these different cities and stuff you could cruise through, like a racetrack, man. And we're like, but if you slow down a little bit for a tourist education system, then you get extraterrestrial education, man. We're like, E.T. did phone home, man. So we go to the mountains, return to which mountain? We had these flying saucers, man, like landing in the mountains too, And we're like, so I went back to the mountain. I talked to my little alien friends up there with the angels and stuff. And I says, man, can you get those Army guys to fly some choppers and stuff around down here? I says, man, we won't just get the Army guys to fly some choppers and stuff around down there. We got the Navy guys doing it too. He says, man, take this shirt with you. I said, I take a shirt with me? He says, man, you got to take this shirt with you, okay? And I says, oh, for the Army and the Navy? He says, yeah, man, you got to do that. I says, okay. Got a Top Gun flight school. You know, the old people, man. You know, the wise people. The old people. You know, we the people of God, man. The people of trust. You know, and I says, you know, that's good unity. You know, good. Unite nations, man. Can you do that for us? And you know, nations understand good people. Nations understand good people of trust. You know, the old people, man. That's like my grandma and grandpa, man. Bill and Billy the Kid went down to Mexico, man. I said, hey, man, it's a Wild West show. What we're going to do? Well, if you send good old Jimmy down there like Jimmy the Crickets, man, he'll go down there like Jimmy the Crickets, man, and be like, hey, Jimmy the Crickets, can we fix this stuff? And he says, man, I don't know. It's the most dangerous country in the world. So, man, there's like a bunch of arguments going on. So he says, all right, we're going to make an Area 51, an alien encounter, and all kinds of stuff, man, for all our angels and aliens, you know? And he says, all right. So Mr. Kirk said, hey, I'll send my son to Disney World. He goes to Disney World. He said, what do you mean everything's closed? They had everything closed, man. Even the alien encounter. It's like, well, we weren't supposed to build it in Orlando, Florida, man. We were supposed to build it over there in New Mexico to keep the peace and stuff. And it says, oh, man, you remember that? Top Gun? You know, banned idiots, man. You see, banned idiots? Not guns. Don't ban the Top Gun, man. Top Guns are awesome. And we got a big school, man. It's going to be a flight school, like an Angel Flight School. And that's like Angel Flight School. Americans for Solutions. Air Force. You get it? And I go, man, the Navy and the Army Corps of Engineers put all that together. And he said, don't you ever forget about our Space Marines. You know, they're over there in South Carolina, too. We got Paris Island. That's where those Space Marines go to train.